Hey gang, Roland here. As you can see in this game, it is myself and Captain Insano. I will be captaining the König, and Cap will be captaining the Fujin. König is a Tier 5 German battleship. It's typical of the line. The dispersion is not very good. The shells hit moderately hard, but the ship itself is very tanky. The Fujin, if you are not familiar, is it's basically a carbon copy of the Kamikaze or the Kamikaze R, with the exception of a different paint job. Those three are referred to as the Kamikaze sisters because they are the same ship with slightly different camo. I've got to go in here and get the rest of the game information for you that isn't going to show up in the replay unless I do this. There's a bug introduced with update 0.10.5. Those things stay checked for the games, but for replays, I have to go in and manually reset them each time to provide all the information that I want to see myself and want all of you to see in the replay. In terms of the lineup, well, we're bottom tier. That's always a challenge, although it does mean extra XP, win or lose. If I'm going to be bottom tier in a battleship, this isn't a bad one to be in because it is a little bit tanky. I say a little bit tanky. Gotta be careful with your angles to large shells. Of course, the Caracciolo on the other team uses SAP. Well, often uses SAP. You can also just use standard AP shells. And SAP shells, well, they can do damage pretty much any angle. Initially, we've decided that we'll stay mid. I am going to try and support his attempt to cap the Bravo, cap in the center. But it doesn't look like he's got anybody there. His radio location skill is telling him where someone's at, but it doesn't look like there's anybody pushing the cap. So you can see he's kind of turning around. And it's right about now that we're talking about maybe we should go over to A, but I'm not really in a position where I could do that without probably running into the island. So I decide to just stay over here, see if I can get a shot on somebody crossing. And I can work my way back over that direction. I'm looking at the mini-map, and we were talking about it. You know, we've got Geppert over there, Devonshire over there, Celebes over there. Well, we don't have the Mahan anymore. He just got blapped. And then two battleships heading that direction. But I think we have some very new players because the two cruisers that are kind of nose in, I'm sure they did their best, but with Nicholas, Leander, Icarus, and, well, two cruisers, two destroyers, and a battleship in the form of the Iron Duke that's going to come around the corner. And our Geppert didn't do too well, neither did our Monahan, as you can see. So right now, Cap and I were discussing, okay, we're down 3 destroyers. Cap is the only destroyer left. On the A side. And he's definitely talking, okay, he's saying, I've got to get over here and see what I can't do to help. As you can see, Nicholas is right in Devonshire's face. Celebes is right there behind him. Those battleships aren't going to get there in time. And I've basically had all the opportunity I'm going to have unless I want to commit to going over to Charlie, and I do not want to do that. Down goes another cruiser to a torpedo from Leander. We are now down 4 ships. The bad guys are down 1. And it just keeps getting worse. You can see the Devonshire is, well, he's gone now. So they've got one of the new Dutch cruisers over there. And although I couldn't really see it, Cap was telling me about what he was doing, and he was apparently wreaking havoc over there. Icarus is, of course, pretty tough DD, and much more of a gunboat than Fujin could really ever hope to be. Now, Omaha is crossing, so, the plan was just keep on heading straight over. But what I think is that if I didn't stop here, you can see Cap's going to work over there. He's taking out the Nicholas with guns. If I didn't stop here and wait on that Omaha was going to end up taking the Bravo Cap. So I have to be patient here, but you can see I'm slowing down. I do not want us to lose that Cap. Probably be a couple minutes before my guns were in position to really do anything over a day. And although I might have had a broadside shot on Andrea Doria, I think this is much more important. I can sink the Omaha almost certainly if I just place the shots all in the right spot. No easy task given German dispersion, but the range isn't that bad. And maybe we can hang on to this Cap. There he is, just kind of peeking out behind me there. We've lost the Devonshire to the Caracciolo, who is just pushing right through Charlie. So I need another volley like that, maybe two. Omaha, instead of reversing, he's just kind of inching his way forward. I'm going to let this fire burn. And I think that'll probably do it. Now I can put out the fire and see what I can do on the other side of the map over there. We've got a King George and a Fiji at Charlie. Fiji's got himself broadside all of them, which that's a good way to get all banged up. Andrea Doria takes out the Leander that was badly damaged. Thank goodness for that. We are now down 6 ships. The bad guys are down 4. We're down 94 points. And it looks like the bad guys are probably going to have a 2 cap to 1 advantage here very soon. Now, Captain Insano, he's doing a lot of heavy lifting here. But the Icarus takes out our Isa. And we are now down to 5 ships. Bad guys still have 8. And they do now have a 2 cap to 1 advantage. And I'm really just now getting to the point where I can put guns on anything at A. But our Andrea Doria, he's almost certainly going to get sunk. Cruiser's in big trouble. Keep an eye on that. Michael. So we trade Andrea Doria for the Dutch cruiser in the space of a few seconds. We are now down to 4 ships. The bad guys still have 6. We're down roughly 180 points or so. I've got 2 battleships to contend with over here, but my being here is giving Cap the opportunity to get into Alpha and get torpedoes on these guys' broadsides. You can see Fiji and KGB are still kiting away from the red push through Charlie. Icarus is right in front of me. I'm going to have to kite myself, which means I have to show broadside. Gotta get a repair going. I know the torpedoes are going to be coming. I've got to be careful here. I want to be able to get guns on people, but I don't want to run into the island that's north of me. Cap's working on getting the Alpha Cap secured. And I'm working on getting far enough away that the torpedoes won't be able to take me out of the game. Here they come. And I'm able to get just outside of their range. You can see I've switched to HE. I did that because I wasn't sure what the DD was going to do. But maybe I'll be able to get a fire or two started here. I'm able to dodge the shells mostly from Iron Duke. And you can see Icarus has turned around to go take care of Cap, who has managed to secure Alpha. Cap has a huge points advantage there, hit points advantage, and he's got the ability to put out 6 torpedoes in a very narrow area, and that's not good for Icarus, and down he goes. Cap placed those just perfectly. There was no way for Icarus to weave his way through there. And suddenly this is still anybody's game. Thanks to Cap, we have Alpha and Bravo. And also thanks to Cap, these battleships kind of have to keep their nose pointed my direction, which is going to allow, because they're not going to want to turn toward him, right? I mean, they saw what just happened to their DD. So he can move center, Cap can move center, and I can just try to drag these 2 battleships across the north end of the map. Now our Fiji, he's sitting broadside to them, so it remains to be seen how it's going to turn out for them. But our Fiji's very low hit points. Now, Cap and I were talking here, and although that guy is probably the highest priority just because he has such low HP, I'm looking for a broadside shot on these guys. So you can see I'm slowing down. That Haguro, only 7,000, now 5,000. I should be able to take him out. And he is still a threat. His guns are tough if he hits Fiji, or, well, if he hits Cap even. But never gets a chance. He did get off a volley there. It looked to me like he was firing at the KGV. And now I've just got to get reloaded and wait for Andrea Doria. Meanwhile, Cap is putting torpedoes in the face of the Andrea Doria that's in the Bravo Cap. Aiming high enough, hopefully, to be able to avoid hitting the... Oh man, I got robbed. I didn't want to hit the torpedo belt. And Andrea Doria is healing up. Fiji to the rescue. And no, I'm not upset at all that he got that. My philosophy is the sooner the red ships are sunk, the better. It doesn't matter to me who sinks them. We've still got Iron Duke back there. And I've got a Caracciolo that's crossing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get a shot on him. And I think I'm going to need to turn around. You can see I've been healing up. I'll be a little shy of 30k HP. Still got a pretty much full health Iron Duke back there. And I'll try and take some heat. Meanwhile, Captain Insano has rescued the Bravo Cap. I know that Caracciolo is going to be shooting at me. I'm a much better target than the Fiji, and the Fiji may smoke up Yeah, he's not. So now I got to wonder if the Crocchiolo won't take a shot at him. And he did. PG manages to survive that. Keeps putting on his own shells. And Cap's torpedoes are on the way to Crocchiolo. Now I'm showing some side to Iron Duke here. A little bit risky. Andrea Doria, probably out of his range. And Cap finishes off Crocchiolo. That's kill number 3 for Cap. And suddenly this game, we are both realizing, is looking pretty good for us. We've got a points lead, a ship lead. Everything's coming up roses right now. Not a whole lot to lose, so I'm going to go ahead and push toward the Iron Duke. Our KGV already had that idea. I will say, in my opinion, this game really hinged on Cap's performance in the Fujin, with probably a close second. I mean, staying alive in this game in a Fiji with all these, granted they're lower tier, but Fiji is not what I would call a particularly tough ship. And against battleships, for him to have survived this long is definitely something. I think our KGV is going to get sunk. I'm just going to try and stay reasonably well angled. And I can turn the ship to try to bring the rear turrets into action. Iron Duke is, yeah, that's a fairly tough battleship really for the tier. Our KGV launches HE, gets him burning, but Iron Duke finishes off our KGV, and now it's 3 versus 2. We're up by about 140 points, more or less. My secondaries are going to work. I've got Gunter Lutyens. No, I don't. No, it's not Gunter Lutyens in this ship. I remember thinking about doing that, but I didn't. This is probably a 10 or 12 point captain, actually. But secondaries are going to work. So I've got 28,000 HP. Iron Duke's down to about 16,000 and he's burning. I'm feeling pretty good about this at this point. Cap doesn't have to take any chances. We've got this thing in the bag. Even if I do get sunk here, we've still got this in the bag just based on points. I'm going to do my best not to get blapped here, but I'll see if I can finish off the Iron Duke. Iron Duke is now burning profusely. Andrea Doria tried to help him out. But this is going to be it for Iron Duke. Thanks for watching.